Here's Brody Brazil.
Possible action, Brody.
Well, okay, let's begin with this. Possible action, but not in the calendar year 2022. Nobody's officially come out to say it. I didn't expect anybody to do that, but we're not going to have any binding votes by Oakland here in 2022. And for both you and I and the buildup of all this and covering it, I think it was highly anticipated that something definitive would happen in Oakland by the end of this year. It's not. I'll ask this kind of rhetorically. Are we let down? Are we upset? Are we frustrated? Are we pessimistic or optimistic about this?
I would say let down, definitely, because all year we talked about binding vote season, and this was the season of binding votes. I still maintain you got the EIR certified, you got the BCDC vote, the Planning Commission that moved along the EIR. Those were all binding votes. So
it was a big year.
It did happen during binding vote season.
It was a big year.
The last one.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and the last one to me is like the bottleneck. And I talked to Sheng Tao, who's running for mayor, talked to Lauren Taylor about this too. It really does feel like we're waiting for this one. It's taking extra long, but if an agreement can happen with the A's in Oakland, and then a binding vote happens after some financial analysis, like this is the one that pushes all the other dominoes over. So I guess I'm only feeling let down in a sense that both sides were kind of angling us to feel like, hey, at the end of this year, we're going to know. But unfortunately, it's a 2023 thing. Now, knowing the people involved moving forward, I actually don't feel bad about it. Like Libby Schaaf, a champion of the project. I think she was a big reason why we even got here on the Oakland side. But if you look at the front-running candidates for mayor, if you look at how the city council might shake out after this upcoming election, I don't think the stadium situation and the project, I don't think it's in a much worse place like I used to be concerned about. How do you feel about that?
100%. I really thought if we didn't get a vote before the end of the year, this thing was essentially dead. Rob Manfred wanted you to believe that as well. And, as things kind of progressed and we learned really that this thing wasn't going to be voted on before the end of the year and started looking at the political landscape, you started to notice it wasn't so bad. Before, there was a lot of questions about what would happen if Libby Schaaf was out of office when she's termed out. Who's going to step in as mayor? Are they going to support this thing? Are the city council members going to be in line with the change over there? In fact, there was one candidate who was very anti-Howard Terminal, then got endorsed by Labor and is now sort of open to Howard Terminal. I wonder how that happened. And so it actually doesn't look as bad as we initially projected it to be.
Yeah.
So I think it can definitely move forward. I still am disappointed it didn't happen before the end of the year, though, because that really kind of left the door open for Las Vegas to make a move. If they had gotten that vote in before the end of the year, this thing's a wrap almost at that point.
Well, we're also running into these months of November and December where not much besides the election, right, is going to happen anyway. These were kind of down months. The city council doesn't get together, I think, more than once or twice until the end of the year. And the timing, obviously, we ran out of time, but it also became that time of year where there's just not as much opportunity for progress to be made.